लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ प्रीलिम्स। प्रीलिम्स में क्या होता है? पहला जो पॉइंट है वो है करंट इवेंट्स ऑफ नेशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस, हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया एंड इंडियन नेशनल मूवमेंट, इंडियन एंड वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी, फिजिकल सोशल इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी of the India and the world, Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy, right issues, etc. Economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives, general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change that do not require subject specialization, general science. Now let's move back to मेंस। पहला पेपर होता है ऐसे, सेकंड पेपर इज जनरल स्टडीज विच includes Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world and the society. So basically it is art, history and geography. Paper 2 which is general studies 2. Paper 3 which is general studies 2, governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relations, that is polity and IR. Now let's move to paper 4 which is general studies 3, technology, economic development, biodiversity, security and disaster management. Paper 4 is which is general studies 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude. जनरल स्टडीज 1 जो कि पेपर 2 होता है अपना, उसमें कवर होता है इंडियन कल्चर, विल कवर द salient aspect of art forms, literature or and architecture from the ancient to modern times. Second point है modern Indian history from about the middle of 18th century until the present, significant events, personalities, issues. Third is the freedom struggle, its various stages and important contributions from different parts of the country. Post-independence consolidation and reorganization within the country. History of the world will include events from 18th century such as Industrial Revolution, World Wars, withdrawal of national boundaries, colonization, decolonization, political philosophies like communalism, capitalism, socialism, etc., their forms and effect on the society. Salient feature of Indian society, diversity of India, role of women and women organization, population and associated issues, poverty and development issues, urbanization, their problem and their remedies, effect of globalization on Indian society, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, secularism, salient feature of world's physical geography, distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent, factor responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world including India, important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, geographical features and their location change in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps, and in flora and fauna and the effect of such changes. जनरल स्टडीज 2 जो कि पेपर 3 होता है अपना, विच इंक्लूड्स मेनली पॉलिटी एंड IR। इसमें शुरू होता है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, हिस्टोरिकल अंडरपाइनिंग्स, इवोल्यूशन, फीचर्स, अमेंडमेंट्स, significant provisions and basic structure, functions and responsibilities of the union and states, issues and challenges pertaining to the federal structure, devolution of powers and financing up to the local levels and challenges therein, separation of powers between various organs, dispute redressal mechanism and institution, comparison of Indian constitutional scheme with that of other countries, parliament and state legislatures, structure, functioning, conduct of business, powers and privileges and issues arising out of this, a structure, organization and functioning of the executive and the judiciary, ministries and departments of the government, pressure groups, formal, informal associations of them and their role in the polity, salient feature of the Representation of People's Act, appointment to the various constitutional posts, powers, functions, and responsibilities of various constitutional bodies, statutory, regulatory, and various quasi-judicial bodies, government policies and interventions for development in various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementation, development process and the development industry, the role of NGOs, SSGs, various groups and associations, donors, charities, institutional and other stakeholders, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of the population by the center and states, and the performance of these schemes, mechanism, laws, institutions and bodies, constitutions for the protection and betterment of these vulnerable sections, issues relating to development and management of social sectors, services relating to health, education, human resources, issues relating to poverty and hunger, important aspect of governance, transparency and accountability, e-governance applications, models, successes, limitations, and potential citizen charters, transparency and accountability, and institutional and their measures. Role of civil service in democracy, India and its neighborhood relation, bilateral, regional and global groupings, an agreement involving India and or affecting India's interest, effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries of India's interest, Indian diaspora, important international institutions, agencies, and fora their structure, mandate. Now let's move back to General Studies 3, which is also paper 4 of UPSC Mains. पहला पॉइंट है इसमें इंडियन इकोनॉमी एंड इशूज रिलेटिंग टू प्लानिंग मोबिलाइजेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज ग्रोथ डेवलपमेंट एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ एंड इशूज अराइजिंग फ्रॉम इट गवर्नमेंट बजटिंग मेजर cropping patterns in various parts of the country, different styles, different type of irrigation and different irrigation system storage, transport and marketing of agricultural produce and issues and related constraints, e-technology in the aid of farmers, issues relating to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support prices, public distribution system, objectives, functioning, limitations, revamping, issues of buffer stocks and food security, technology, missions, economics of animal rearing, food processing and related industries of India, scope and significance, location, upstream, downstream requirements, supply chain management, land reforms in India, effect of liberalization in economy, changes in industrial policy and their effects on industrial growth, infrastructure, energy, ports, roads, airport, railways, etc. Investment models, science and technology, development and their applications and effects on everyday life, achievement of Indians in science and technology, indigenous of technology and developing new technology, awareness in the field of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and issues relating to intellectual property rights, conversion, conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, environmental impact assessment, disaster and disaster management, linkages between development and spread of extremism, role of external state and non-state actors in creating challenges to the internal security through communication networks, role of media and social networking sites in internal security challenges, basics of cyber security, money laundering and its prevention, security challenges and their management in border areas, linkages of organized crime with terrorism, various security forces and agencies and their mandate. General Studies 4, GS4, which is paper 5 of UPSC Mains. Ethics and human interface, essence, determinants and consequences of ethics in human actions, dimensions of ethics, ethics in private and public relationship, human values, lessons from the lives and teachings of great leaders, reformers and administrators, role of family, society and educational institution uh, in calculating values, attitude, content, structure, functions, its influence and relation with thoughts and behavior, moral and political attitudes, social influence and persuasion, aptitude and foundational values of civil service, integrity, impartiality, and non uh, partnership, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance, and compassion towards the weaker section, emotional intelligence concepts and their utilities and application in administration and governance, contribution of moral thinkers and philosopher from the India and the world, public civil service values and ethics in the public administration, status and modern problems, ethical concern and dilemmas in government and private institutions, laws, rules, regulations, and conscience as source of ethical guidance, accountability and ethical governance, strengthening the ethical and moral values in governance, ethical issues in international relation and funding, corporate governance, probity and governance, concept of public service, philosophical basis of governance and probity, information sharing and transparency in government, right to information, codes of ethics, codes of conduct, citizens charters, work culture, quality of service delivery, utilization of public funds, challenges and corruption.